everybody. My name's Jessica Parker, and I've been wanting to do this for a while. My puppy is gonna try and get up here. 6-month-old giant. I don't really know where to start. I'm very, very, very grateful for this group. I grew up in a family, I'm in Oregon, that politics weren't a thing when I was growing up. We went to church, my parents taught Sunday school and all the things, and then when I was in 5th grade they got a divorce and things just kind of unraveled, and I ended up being the only one going to church after that. So I credit a lot of my life and my health, whether it be spiritually, emotionally, all of it, to my faith. Because, you know, my family is very dysfunctional, as are like many. But as I got older, I definitely encountered a lot of, I would call it bullying from my family, my dad and my sister in particular, for my faith. And I have always been kind of people pleaser, tried to keep the peace in my family and just never spoke up. And then as I went through college, I also will have to say my mom came from a conservative family, my dad came from a liberal family, and I didn't really pay attention to that until I got older. Anyway, I went through college, I have a master's degree, and I always really took pride in not being extreme on one end or the other, and just like being kind of moderate and seeing things from both sides. I took pride in that. But as I got even older, my dad became more extreme in his liberal perspective, and, you know, very angry. I've seen a lot of anger from my dad and my sister, and I'm a twin actually. And my sister is a lesbian, and, you know, I'm 43. Trying to think of when she came out. It's probably been like maybe 10 years. And I love everybody. I take pride in that. I really do. I have never, ever said a mean thing. I don't even feel it. You know, why would I say it? And yet I have been labeled and judged for how she thinks that I believe, and then my dad as well, in terms of my faith and political beliefs, even when he was wrong, actually, because I haven't always voted Republican. I haven't. And one year before I have a 14-year-old, before he was born, so 2004, election time, and I was renting a room out of my dad's house, and came home, and, you know, my dad has a drinking problem, and pretty sure he was a little bit drunk and high, and he had been on his computer back in the dial-up days and was raging mad and followed me around the house, veins popping out, red in the face, tossed me up against the wall, and was this close to me, like spitting in my face about the election and me voting Republican. And actually, I didn't even know who I was going to vote for. Like, he definitely had preconceived ideas about me, obviously because of my faith, and he never even bothered to ask me. I quickly escaped that situation, and he did apologize later. And anyway, all that to say, and my sister and I have not spoke for a while. In 2016, when the whole Black Lives Matter thing kind of first came about, I remember posting, I try to like not be like very political or very anything on social media, but I posted a picture of a circle of people, black, white, some cops. They were holding hands and they were praying. I actually made it like my cover photo. I felt like it just spoke volumes, and I know like so many people were hurting. Anyway, she blasted me on Facebook because apparently our ancestors had slaves. Like, I don't even know. And how dare I, which it still doesn't make sense to me. How dare I what? I'm not sure. I immediately blocked her, and then she texted me nasty things, so I blocked her there. She emailed me nasty things, blocked her there. So she actually sent me a very nasty letter and said very nasty things about my faith. And so I've kept it just as a reminder, because I tend to want to forgive and forget, but every time I've done that, I pay for it. So anyway, needless to say, all the things have really made me more and more conservative, because I've just seen the light more and more. I went to Oregon State University, and I was on a liberal arts track, and then psychology, and my master's is health psychology. I'm a health coach. And I really started going down a more toxin-free living road, and I have mercury amalgams, and I have they think possibly MS, and I've connected the dots there, because I had a lot of amalgams worked on right before my symptoms really hit, and it was devastating to me, to my life 2 years ago. And so I've really taken a root cause approach to my health ever since, a little bit before that, and figuring some things out and noticing things with my parents and mainstream medicine. And that actually led me to Trump, believe it or not. I was sad that he was even up for election in 2016. I thought he was horrible, because I just listened to everybody else and the news. But I also equally hated Hillary for my own reasons. Anyway, I didn't want to be political, because all the negative, hateful things from my dad and my sister. But I voted for Trump reluctantly, lesser of two evils. And then really, it's been within the last year. It has really been within the last year when I've really become aware of the mandates that we're facing. Started with vaccines, and then all these other things. And so definitely woke me up in huge ways. And I wish that I would have paid attention to politics a long time ago. Where in Oregon, I feel like we have a dictator. She called a special session right now, and why, who even knows? She's done nothing for us. I have people, my neighbor hasn't received checks and might have to move. I know handfuls of people. We have not received our stimulus check, and thankfully we're doing fine, and I'm not worried about it. But there's been so much mismanagement in this state, and I already didn't like our governor because of really horrible things happening with human services and children and foster homes and stuff like that in our state, horrible things. And so anyway, I just wish that I had paid attention before, but I'm so thankful for this group. I'm so thankful. It's really easy to get down and get kind of pulled into some of the negative going on in the world. And I'm so thankful. There are so many people all across the board, and I feel like I have friends that are on the same page. I've definitely lost friends throughout this, because I've decided to speak up a little more. I try to be very, not neutral, but not divisive either. I really try hard to do that, and not constantly putting stuff out. But I've definitely lost friends who, I count them as not having been true friends to begin with. I really do. But not speaking with my dad right now, not speaking even with my mom and my stepdad, because they are afraid of Trump. They think he's a dictator. And anyway, thank you, Brandon, for this group. I am so thankful for it. I see everybody's stories, and every single story I read brings me so much joy, and I just want to hug each one of you. So, all right, hugs to all.